Welcome and welcome back to the Flow of Life Tarot. We are in the energies of this beautiful new moon in Virgo, which is just approaching 0 degrees right now at the time of filming. And we are freshly in Virgo season right now as well. Magically, there will also be another new moon in Virgo in 28-ish days, and that will be at 29 degrees Virgo. Again, a very powerful point. 0 degrees, 29 degrees and 15 degrees are all very powerful points. Interestingly enough, actually, of course, the Piscean moon will be 15 degrees, and this is when we begin the eclipse portal. That's a lot of information. Welcome back. Thank you for being here. Thank you for bringing your energy. Thank you for making it through to the first minute. Take what resonates, leave the rest. You're welcome to hang out and follow the vibe and the flow. There's always gems and pearls to be had. Have faith in your dreams. Wow, what a beautiful message to begin this reading with. And a new start is coming, new moon, which is exactly what we are celebrating right now, this beautiful Virgo new moon and those Virgo energies. I was going to take 3. I normally do take 3. Am I going to take 3? Yes, I am. But those two seem to be a pair. So what is this flow that's bringing another current? And I might check the bottom. Okay, that's interesting. All right, let's go with this. Take time to breathe out. Okay, yeah. And look at these lovely light colours. I don't know if it shows that well, but these, I've got a lovely blend. There's a lightness to all of these. Can you see those? Wow. Connecting with the energy. There is a beautiful stillness right now. If you are a meditator, you probably have already connected with these energies. So certainly take this moment as an opportunity to drop into yourself, into the seat of your soul, into the seat of your being. Feel your body, notice your breath. Just simply notice. Notice how it feels to be in your body. Notice how it feels to be here now. Allow the mind to release. Allow yourself to be. Allow yourself to be present. Just allowing yourself to breathe. Wow, there's perfect energies right now. Absolutely perfect. Okay. If you're sensitive, you'll have picked up on that. Absolutely beautiful. There weren't really any words I could bring through, so I just had to let that be. If you're new to me, or if you've seen a few, you may have noticed that the flow does move in these liminal spaces. 4 of Wands. Eight of Wands. Hanged Man. Yes. Neptunian Piscean energy, which of course is what we will have with the full moon. Virgo and Pisces are on the axis together, so they are opposites. So as we are in this space where the sun and the moon are at this early degrees of Virgo, the early degrees of Pisces are awakened as well. So a beautiful time to connect deeply into the unconscious, the subconscious, the collective conscious, and one's own seat of the soul. And you may find that this will be easier than ever. We have fire, fire, water. And we are in earth right now. And how lovely that the water we have is Pisces, is the 12th house, sitting exactly opposite Virgo, which rules the 6th house, ruled by Mercury. Four of Wands is this beautiful, stable, happy home type energy, or celebratory type energy. In the traditional Rider-Waite, we see a couple that seem to be celebrating a wedding, and you can see the community behind them, and the village, and everyone celebrating. It has been referred to as 1111 card for sort of twin flame type things. But anyway, that's not an energy I want to get into. I'm just acknowledging that there are other references for the Four of Wands, but very specifically there's this nourishing, wholesome energy. And as the words here point out, it's creativity, union, and freedom. So it's a very dynamic energy of relationship. It's a very healthy, it's the energy of two people come together. I was going to say two whole people, but the word whole suggests that some people could be not whole, and everyone is whole, perfect, and complete, regardless of whether or not they think it, feel it, and believe it. Okay, that cannot be undone. That is divinely so. You are divinely perfect, whole, and complete, regardless of what you think, feel, and believe. You cannot undo what the divine has already decreed to be. So you either accept it or you don't, or you wrestle with your ego dramas, which, let's face it, that is the history of humanity. And that's why we're at this beautiful point in time, this moment of suspended time. Where we are coming together within ourselves on so many levels, our parallel selves, or past life selves, or versions of ourselves, our inner selves, and collectively we are coming together with the rest of the solar system and the rest of the universe. This is a very powerful message. This is very beautiful energies. I really hope you're just enjoying this to meditate with right now. 8 of Wands. Not too long ago we had the 8-8 portal. The 8 of Wands is that good news coming in fast. I think swift is a better word, because fast suggests urgency, or which can then suggest emergency or panic or chaos, and then can have a negative connotation. And there isn't. This is swift information. You know, that the information is delivered by bow and arrow, dropped into a liminal space. Words are just swimming around. If you imagine and picture the whistling of an arrow as it hits its target, in the whole action that's involved, it's a beautiful process, but it requires skill and dexterity to hit the mark. There's nothing clickbait or spammy about this news. Not that there would be, but just to give you contrast to understand the point that I'm trying to make. And this news will be relating to your creativity, union, and freedom, for sure. Which, of course, sits underneath have faith in your dreams, and a new start is coming, which is good news. And what was the Pisces one again? Take time to breathe out. Yeah. I mean, if you've been hanging upside down for a while, you've got to remember to breathe out. This is absolutely fascinating. I'm noticing my breath is having these amazing pauses at either the end or the beginning of a breath cycle. It's happening all by itself, as if I'm in some kind of deep meditation. Is this... Okay, let's pull some more cards, shall we? Yeah, okay. Four of Wands. Have faith in your dreams. Yeah, you're making plans. You're reviewing your life as you stand here and now in the world and your place in the world, and you're taking stock to make these plans for your next journey ahead. Interestingly enough, it's funny that he's sort of looking what seems to be backwards, and there's this sort of solar disc here. So I feel that there could be this review of the last solar year from whenever you're watching this, or even the last lunar cycle. Eight of Wands. A new start is coming. Okay, lots of options, lots of choices available. I always see this as shadow work as well, facing the shadow, and all these little magical gems that reside in the shadow. And sometimes we can get a little bit... can you hear that? We can get a little enamoured with the things that we find in the psyche or in the astral realms. So let's see, why would we have... And sometimes overwhelm accompanies that. Yeah. So this is pointing to it being such a potent time that you need to be in your integrity with your words, thoughts, and actions, and you need to be in alignment. There is a little word of caution or warning that manipulation could be at play when you have this combination of cards. And again, this is another Piscean card, because obviously Neptune, the ruler of Pisces, like everything, has its healthy and unhealthy expressions, or light and shadow, or good and bad, whatever words you want to use. And an unhealthy expression of this Neptunian, highly spiritual energy would be the sort of delusional, rose-tinted goggles, beer goggles, right? Often Neptune, Pisces is also associated with addictions. I mean, you could find that with any of the planets and the signs in their symbology, but specifically. So Magician is asking you, with all this beautiful positive energy, to be in integrity, which is a message that often I find comes through. I'm actually wanting to pull on something else, so let's see. Yeah, I was just already thinking about this, but my words hadn't caught up, so I wanted to see why is it that you're going to need to be in integrity specifically, and it's because you have a choice to make. And I saw this earlier when I was getting the moon cards, and I thought that's interesting, and I thought I'll mention that later. Your commitment is being tested, and that's why this is one of those moments in life where the universe says, okay, you say you want this and you've been working towards this and you've been doing quite well. How much do you want it? And not as in want, beg, need. Not the energy of want, but it's how committed are you to this path? Are you going to walk the path, or are you going to stumble and fall? It doesn't matter if you stumble and fall. You'll get a chance to repeat life all over again. But you know what? You've come this far. Why not stay in integrity, stay in alignment, and make a clear choice that is based on what you truly want? Okay, and this is why there's this review of the last year. It could even be the last 12 years. It could even be your whole life. There's certain key points which will be different for each of you. The last month, the last 2 months, the last solar year, the last year, the last 12 years, the last 2 decades of your life, or any specific milestones that resonate with those numbers. 6 and 12 and 2, I'm getting. And actually 4 as well. That could be a date for someone. Okay, can we know more about this choice? I'm sure it'll be different for everyone, but it is, your commitment is being tested. Gemini also ruled by Mercury, as is Virgo. Yes. How are you going to fall into old habits and patterns? These guys are just whacking each other on the head with these big sticks. I mean, are you really going to waste your energy doing that? You've been there, done that. Is that one of the choices? I mean, it's not much of a choice, is it? You've got to choose between something that's a bit naff and something that's awesome. Yeah, clarity. Not to get distracted by petty arguments or things that draw you in or goad you or bait you or trigger you or alarm you or activate you or stress you out. Can you keep a clear head? And I'm thinking of the poem by Rudyard Kipling, If. Regardless of gender and geopolitics and history and anything else and cancel culture, that poem itself is phenomenally powerful. But of course, people get upset by all sorts of things, don't they? Which is completely understandable. That was a neutral comment. It was simply an acknowledgement. This is what's needed: meditation, peace, dropping in, and not getting into these fights. I mean, this could be as simple as not getting drawn into online debates and arguments and opinions and this, that, and the other. And so what if someone says something that's triggering or alarming? I mean, I get it. I get it. I'm not saying that I'm free from that. But it's this. The energy here is, this. What's more important is your life. That is what is more important. Not, that wasn't a question. What is more important is living your life and being happy and living in integrity and living in your honor and your truth, not getting caught up in distractions and nonsense arguments about who's right or who's wrong, or people out there doing whatever they're doing. Just draw your energy back into yourself, into your focus, and be in alignment. That is how you can make a powerful change in the world. That is how you can be of more power, not by getting into arguments and battles and a battle of wits or intelligence or proving who's right or who's wrong. And I think 99% of the time when things are said, I just think it's sometimes through a paradigm or a context that, given the opportunity to see with a different eyes or a different lens or a different context, I think, unless you really kind of draw a sword at someone's neck and put them in put their back up so that they've got no room to adjust, I think most people in a relaxed, comfortable conversation will have a room to go, oh, okay, I see what you mean. But when you draw your sword, that's it. But this isn't about drawing sword to attack. This is about keeping your own clear mind, keeping in alignment, keeping your crown chakra, your third eye chakra, keeping your heart, mind, body, and soul in alignment. Don't engage. Don't be goaded. Don't be distracted. That's what this Gemini card's about. And don't fall into shadow. The shadow of the magician is mercurial, is Machiavellian, is slippery. You know, but these aren't judgments. We all humans have these things. Okay, this isn't, you know, if you're watching this, it's not pointing a finger. I'm just reading the energies and expressing it because they're coming up for whatever reason. Because what's more important is having faith in your dreams and this new start, and staying focused on that, and making the choice to be in integrity. You know, and of course that's what the Hanged Man is all about, is seeing things with clear perspective, with a different perspective, with a different view. Not getting caught up on our ego, which we all do, okay? It's completely normal, human. Okay, I think that might be the message. This is more about guidance, about how to stay on point with having faith in your dreams and this new start that's coming in. So this is more about guidance rather than telling you what it is. Okay, so you'll know whatever your dreams are, they'll be different for everyone. This is just supporting you through this next stage. Okay, I hope that helps, makes sense, and take what resonates, leave the rest. Thank you for being here, and catch up with you soon. Take care. Bye.